Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Neferititi and you can find me on the web at onebodywm.com. I am a spiritual life coach and mind body instructor. So I am coming to you today with an energy report for this week, which starts Monday, July 1st, and we are going into eclipse season. We have the Cancer solar eclipse on Tuesday, July 2nd, and it's at 12:16 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is actually a very positive eclipse because it's in harmony with Uranus and Taurus. So this is about pleasant surprises, creative sparks, and deeper levels of awakening. Now, eclipses in general are kind of like bookends for cycles, right? Eclipses herald in major endings and major beginnings. And it's the most powerful transit that we could experience when it comes to astrology and energy. And they're like triple, like a total new moon eclipse is like triple the energy of a regular new moon. Because like I said, it begins another 12-year cycle, okay? And so we're beginning this new cycle and we're also wrapping up the 13th moon cycle. So we just moved out of the crystal rabbit moon cycle. Now we're in the cosmic turtle moon cycle, which goes to about July 24th. And then July 25th, we have the day out of time. So this month is going to be interesting as far as the energy goes. Now, as I've said in the last energy report, we have to decide how we are going to experience certain energies. Nobody else gets to decide that for us. All we can do with anything that anybody tells us or communicates to us is take that information and see if it resonates and then decide how we want to proceed and how we want that to be a part of our lives, if we want that to be a part of our lives, because again, it's our decision. Right? And we all have lessons to learn. We all have lessons to teach. But I feel like the stronger your connection is to your higher self, to your spirit team, the easier it is going to be for you to navigate energies, right? And so I just feel like that has been a huge lesson for all of us collectively, is to deepen that connection to our higher self, to remember who we are. Right? Because then everything else changes as a result of that. How we connect to the world, how we connect to other people, all of that is changing as we are starting to wake up and remember who we are. And it is a process. So, you know, a lot of us, like, I think that was last year or the year before last, when we started to hear about the event. And we probably listened to Allison Coe and heard her report and everybody else about this grand event. And what we're starting to realize is that because we're dealing with higher dimensions and they are not on linear time like we are, that we are experiencing the event already. I feel like once we initially got the conscious awareness of the event, this is just my spiritual opinion, whenever you got the information, the download of the event, however that came to you, I feel like that's when the event began for you, because it's a process. And so I feel like the instant you heard about it, you got on that path, and whatever was on that path for you was for you. Now, there's people that are going through similar experiences, but remember, we are all individualized expressions of the whole. And there's a soul journey and then there's a collective journey, right? So that, you know, I'm just explaining this in dualistic 3D terms because we know that it's all connected. But in order for us to understand it and conceptualize it, I have to kind of explain it in that way. And I hope that makes sense. But that's what I said all that to say that this next cycle that we're moving into, the cosmic turtle moon, is about transcendence and learning to see and go beyond our present state of awareness. Okay, communicating with your spirit team to create the vision that you have of your soul purpose and life mission. Okay, your life purpose, your soul mission. Those are interchangeable, right? But you know, it's kind of like what you want wants you, what you desire desires you. And this is about rapid manifestation and allowing, because that's a part of manifestation, is allowing things to come to you. The moment you get into that state of allowing, it's like manifestation is instant. We don't often think of it that way because we put so much energy, we invest so much energy into the problem, right? Thinking about the problem, worrying about the problem, because that's what we've been conditioned to do as a collective, as humanity, because it's an easy way for us to become a crop species, as Chloe Hudson likes to describe it, which I think is interesting, but also challenges me a little bit in the sense that, you know, knowing this, I can no longer allow myself to be voluntarily subjected to that energy. And so I need to do what I need to do. I call it the spiritual grind, okay? And, you know, that grind kind of has a negative connotation, but it shouldn't, because if you're going to get anything worthwhile in this life, if you're going to see results, it requires you to have good habits. Habits that are moving in the direction of your goal. And these are things that you do over and over and over and over and over again. When nobody's looking, when you're tired, when you are so distracted, you know that these are things you need to do, like meditation, like nature walks, whatever it is that allows you to stay aligned. That's what I mean by spiritual grind, okay? Those things that you do every single day, the same commitments that you gave to a lot of those 3D things, the job, the relationships, whatever. You give that same commitment to your spiritual journey. I feel like this whole cycle that we're in right now throughout the summer, and even when Mercury goes retrograde in the middle of this month, or I think it might be in a couple of days actually, that we're going to be asked to review on some level how we are committed to our soul mission, our life purpose. And then if we find some gaps, some holes, some places where we can come up higher, how can we recommit, right? So this is, like I said, a great energy. This eclipse is good for making connections because you've had time to create those boundaries. As you've gone through this process of emotional healing this whole year, you've learned how to create healthy boundaries. So you feel okay connecting with some people, but within reason, right? Because we're still working on ourselves. We still have to stay committed to the journey. And that requires us to have some solitude and to be able to get quiet and connect, right? And Saturn is, well, let me back up a little bit, because we do have this eclipse connecting to Athena, which is in the Gemini constellation. And this is about writing your goals down, I believe. That's what this energy is saying, to be practical. Write your goals down on paper and read them every single day, no matter what they are. And don't be concerned about the hows. The hows, I've said this a lot. The hows are the domain of the universe. We are not concerned about the process. We fall in love with the process that we're putting ourselves through, or that we're allowing ourselves to go through as we are ascending, as we're transcending, as we're growing spiritually. We fall in love with that process. That is the process of ascension, is self-love. So Saturn is still in harmony with Neptune. So this is an energy that's full of possibilities. That's why it's important for you to write your goals down. And even if you are feeling stuck in this area, how do you want your life to look? What is your ideal life? Because that's Neptune. Neptune rules our highest ideals. And even if you didn't come from privilege, right? I didn't come from privilege. A lot of people probably watching my videos, if you resonate with my energy and the type of messages that I give, you know, you've probably had some hard knocks in life. You've seen the ugly, right? And even if that's true for you, you can still make a commitment to yourself that I will no longer allow myself, to the best of my ability, to sabotage myself. I will figure out the ways where I am holding myself back, and I will make a commitment to do whatever it is I need to do to dissolve these blocks with the help of my angels and guides, right? How can I move past this self-sabotage. Where am I holding myself back? How am I limiting myself? And for a lot of this, with this Jupiter energy going retrograde in Sagittarius, this is about belief systems, right? Because we don't get what we want in life. We get what we believe. And that has nothing to do with your circumstances. Nothing, because your circumstances are always changing. Even if it doesn't seem like it on the surface, everything is always changing and moving, right? So we're also still continuing to release and purge. I feel like that's going to be an underlying theme, but we're moving more into a space of where the purging and the building of the new is kind of happening simultaneously. We're kind of like getting into those cracks and corners, putting the finishing touches on the foundation. And now we're going to start to build as the rest of this year goes on. But I feel like we still have to take personal responsibility for our ascension process and making sure that we are doing the work. And what I mean by work is the meditation, the journaling, the nature walks, the purging, the cleansing, the realigning of our thinking, right? Trusting the synchronicities and following them, trusting our intuition and following them. This is our work. You know, it says it in the Bible too, that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. These are not like physical things, right? These are very much etheric, spiritual tools that we have that we need to kind of sharpen and hone, because we're going to have to help other people come along. We've done some of the hard work, right? We've kind of blazed the trail for a lot of people that are just starting to wake up. So we need to be ready. So I'm going to offer you 3 tips for working with this energy. The first, of course, like I've mentioned earlier, is to write down your goals. We have this eclipse energy. It's very powerful energy for planting seeds, for being able to integrate all of these lessons that we've had to learn, right? So write down your goals. What is it that you want? What is it that you really want? And I would encourage you to allow this to be a process. You write them down one day and then maybe come back the next day, read them over and tweak them a little bit. Maybe 3 or 4 days. Allow yourself to kind of let this process of goal setting unfold for you, and use different categories, right? Sort it all out: home and family, financial, fitness goals, spiritual goals. Set it all up and make sure that you're reading them every single day and fine-tuning them, and then taking action steps in areas where you are able to right now. Do what you can where you are with what you have, right? The second tip is to ask your angels for guidance, for real practical, in the now moment guidance. What can I do right now to move me in the direction that I want, right? And then don't be afraid to ask over and over again. Okay, I need clarity on that. I need clarity on that. Ask your angels and guides to get real specific and practical, because they will, but you have to ask. And the third tip is to do the worst first. I've said this in other videos. If you have something to do, even the spiritual tasks, right? We don't always want to meditate. We don't always want to go on a nature walk, but we know that we should, that this would do nothing but benefit us, right? So if it feels like it's going to be something that's daunting, then do it right away, first thing in the morning. Make it a priority, because you're taking care of yourself. You're making yourself, your spirituality, your soul mission a priority. So I wanted to offer you some crystal energy to help you navigate this energy of the eclipse and all of the shifts and changes. So Peach Moonstone is going to help you to embody more of the divine feminine energy that's available to us now, to put us more in that receptive flow of energy. Peach Moonstone will also help you with stress and anxiety and help to heighten your intuition, and of course to connect to this new moon energy. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, you want to wait until the new moon is exact for at least 24 hours to 48 hours to allow all of that energy to integrate, and so that you can have time to process the downloads. Jet is another crystal recommendation that I'm making for psychic protection. It's also going to help you with integrating the lessons from the dark nights of the soul that many of us have had to go through over the past couple of weeks, months, and years, lifetimes potentially. I've mentioned in other videos that I believe if you are going to be a good teacher, that you're going to experience many dark nights of the soul. And jet is also good for cutting negative etheric cords. I've actually seen sexual toys, dildos, made out of jet to help people release energy from maybe sexual assault or perhaps a really, really deep emotional karmic entanglement. So that might be useful for you. Tiger's Eye is another recommendation that I'm making, and this is going to help us to focus, to attract money, to take action. And this Tiger's Eye protects the traveler as well. So use these crystals according to how they resonate with you. These are just recommendations, but I love using crystals during powerful lunations because it just helps to harness that energy and to focus it so that I can create real magic in my life, and it powers up my intentions as well. So take care of yourselves. I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below. And please be sure to watch my series that I'm doing on spiritual practicality. I will be posting the first video today or tonight. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this eclipse energy. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.